Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is a speed build for my project Evergreen Harbour. So I'm back again with a build for all of you, and this time around I decided to renovate one of the Stonestreet Apartments in Grimm's Quarry. So this is actually Stonestreet Apartment number 3, and this is for the Forrest Family, which consists of Tamara, her son Sebastian, and her granddaughter Sage. Now, I did a cast video of them, so if you haven't checked it out, I will link it down in the description below. So, let's talk about the apartment. So, the first half of this apartment I did about a week ago, and I couldn't come back to it any earlier until this week. And usually when that happens, I'll have a look at it, with fresh eyes, and most likely I would scrap it and I would change it again. But I really loved how I decorated the kitchen, so I decided to stick with it. Now, in my head and for storyline purposes, I reckon the Forrest family has lived here for years. Well, basically just Tamara and Sebastian until Sage came into their lives. And I kind of think of it as a rent to own apartment. And I know in the Philippines those kinds of property do exist. And I also think that Tamara is the mom of this apartment complex. Now, the traits of this apartment, I've actually gave it child's play, home studio, and study spot. And along this apartment you will see different things that represent each of the characters. So for example, you're gonna see Tamara's easel in the hallway, along with her rocking chair and her bag of cross-stitching equipment. You'll see the chess table that Sebastian got for his birthday from his mom, and you'll find his guitar lying around somewhere. Now, in my head, I think that Sebastian and Tamara, they're like a mother-son musical duo. Like, they don't perform in front of anyone, but don't be surprised if you suddenly hear singing coming out of this apartment. So I actually made that apparent in the game when you do download them from the gallery. So both of them would have really high singing skill, and Sebastian would also have a high skill in playing the guitar. Now, I absolutely love putting all of these decorative plates because I think they were done by Sebastian when he was little, and he gifted it to Tamara, to his mom, for Mother's Day. So just those little things which made me not want to scrap the whole thing again and start all over again. Now, the interior of this apartment, my inspiration was, I think, Tamara's personality, or how I pictured her in my head. Now, it's going to be eclectic. She loves bold colors, and yet when you walk into this apartment, it's just full of warmth and full of love. That's how I wanted it to feel. And it's an organized mess, but it's still neat, if that makes sense, because Tamara, one of her traits is neat. And I used to think back when she didn't have Sebastian yet, back when maybe she was a late teens, and when I say late teens, maybe 18, 19, and early young adult life, I think she used to travel a lot. And she would collect various items from her travels and, display it in the apartment. And it's an open plan for the kitchen, the dining, and the living area, but I still wanted a degree of separation between the kitchen and the dining and living area. So that's why I used platforms and half walls to separate the kitchen off from the rest of the area. And I just really loved how the living area turned out, and you can see that bold, it's a very bold wallpaper that Tamara decided to put up in contrast to the white wallpaper of the rest of the, I was going to say rest of the house, but rest of the apartment. And you could see that little basket of blankets and toys, obviously for Sage. So yeah, now Sage, so Seb's daughter, of course, she has her own room, and I really enjoyed using the items from the new pack because this is actually my first time using them when I was building this apartment. Now you will see me decorate Sage's room shortly, but I just imagine Tamara designing that bedroom for her granddaughter and, you know, asking Seb to put up the wallpaper for her. But I guess the murals on the wall that you will see later on, in my head they're painted by Tamara. And then in Tamara's room you would see that again it's eclectic and it's bright, and I actually wanted to give her her own desk because she is now a retired maths teacher, and now she's got her own Plopsy store where she sells her paintings and knitted toys and clothes. So again, I made that apparent in the game, but obviously in the game there's no dedicated maths teacher, so I actually ended up promoting her all the way up to a principal, and then I'm pretty sure I used a cheat to let her retire because she's still an adult, but she just wanted to live her best life, and she just wanted to take a step back and look after Sage. So she stays at home to help out her son, especially when he has to go on campus for his shoot. So she's there to take care of Sage. But remember, she does have her own Plopsy store, so she's selling her paintings and she's selling all of her knitted toys and clothes and any of her cross-stitching designs. She sells that off in her Plopsy store. Now Sebastian actually has the biggest bedroom in the apartment, and Tamara wanted to give that to him. So you'll see me later on again decorating Sebastian's room. Now he is a valedictorian from high school, and again I made that apparent in the game when you download this family, and he is currently doing a distinguished degree in physics at Foxbury Institute because he wants to be an astronaut one day. And later on you will actually see me pull out the telescope, and I was trying to figure out where I could actually put it in the apartment, but there wasn't really any space, and I couldn't technically put it outside of the apartment because it's not within the building zone. So in the end I ended up placing it in his inventory when I went into game, and I was trying to figure out like if I could actually put the telescope in his inventory, and thank goodness I could. I also gave him a punching bag in his room, and it's one of his hobbies, I think, just boxing, going for a run and playing basketball, and also because I believe for him to be an astronaut his fitness level actually needs to be very high. So I gave him all of those. So for example the punching bag as well as the basketball, like it's there in his room. But you know, despite his studies, he's still very much a hands-on dad, and he will always make time for Sage. And I actually really loved decorating his wall as well, just with the things that I think he'd be a part of in high school and in college, the clubs or the groups. And I also thought that there's a movie poster that I ended up putting on his wall, and in my head that's probably one of his favorite movies ever since he was a kid. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think there's still at least 5 minutes into this speed build, but as usual there will be screenshots of the build, so make sure to check that out towards the end. And I really hope that you enjoyed this speed build, and if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all into the next video. Bye!